Welcome back, everybody. Today we're diving deep into one of those stories that really gets you thinking, It's a quest to figure out who's the greatest among the Hindu Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
And it's not just a popularity contest, right? It's about getting to the heart of what true greatness actually means.
Exactly. So imagine this. You're on the banks of this sacred river, the Saraswati. And it's not just any ordinary day. It's like this massive gathering of these really wise sages.
Yeah, these are like the intellectual rock stars of their time. And they're deep in thought, debating big concepts like Dharma, the cosmos, the nature of truth, the really heavy stuff.
Yeah, the big questions, right. And in the midst of all of this deep thinking, a huge question emerges. Who's the most supreme among the Trinity? Brahma, the creator of everything, Vishnu, the preserver of balance, or Shiva, the destroyer who ushers in change?
And this isn't just a casual debate among friends, right? This is a question with huge spiritual weight for these esteemed sages. They're looking for a real answer.
So how do they go about finding it? Well, they decide to send out a kind of divine investigator, sage Bhrigu, son of Brahma himself. He's known for his sharp intellect, and they basically task him with putting the Trinity to the test.
Imagine being given that assignment. Talk about pressure. Judge the gods themselves.
Right, like, hey, just go assess the cornerstones of reality, no big deal. But as you listen to Bhrigu's story, think about what qualities you believe define true greatness. Because this ancient test, it might actually have some surprising answers for us even today.
So, first up on Bhrigu's journey, Brahmaloka, the celestial realm of his father, Brahma. Picture it. Brahma's deep in meditation, completely absorbed in the act of creation. There are celestial beings all around, chanting from the Vedas. It's this place brimming with sacred energy.
So how does Bhrigu approach his own father in this holy space? With reverence? A respectful bow? Maybe a simple greeting?
Nope, not even close. Bhrigu walks in, and silence. No greeting, no bow, nothing. Just a complete lack of respect.
Wow. Talk about an unconventional way to start your investigation. I mean, what kind of message do you think that silence sends to Brahma?
Well, the texts really highlight Brahma's reaction. Imagine. Your own son walks into your most sacred space and just disrespects you like that. You could practically feel Brahma's anger, right? But what's really interesting is his restraint.
He doesn't just lash out.
No. Instead, he just fixes Bhrigu with this intense stare. This heavy silence hangs between them. It's like a silent battle of wills,
Definitely a power move. And then what? Does Bhrigu try to explain himself?
Nope. He just leaves. As abruptly as he arrived, he's gone. No words spoken.
Bold move. You have to wonder what's going on in Bhrigu's mind and what Brahma makes of this whole silent confrontation. It makes you think about how much can be communicated without saying anything at all, right?
Absolutely. So next, Bhrigu travels to a completely different environment. Mount Kailasha, the icy abode of Shiva. You've got these towering peaks, this crisp mountain air, and Shiva's there, radiating this powerful energy.
A total contrast to Brahma's serene stillness.
Exactly. And get this, Shiva welcomes Bhrigu with open arms, big smile, moving to embrace him, like super warm and welcoming. You'd expect a different reaction from Bhrigu after that cold shoulder from Brahma, wouldn't you, right?
Maybe a little warmth this time.
But again, Bhrigu does the unexpected. He just steps back and unleashes this verbal attack on Shiva. He criticizes him for being associated with death, for his ash-covered body, even for hanging out with ghouls and outcasts. It's harsh, judgmental, totally out of line. What does that tell you about Bhrigu's approach?
It's like he's deliberately trying to provoke them, but why?
Well, Shiva's reaction is pretty intense. The texts say his third eye starts to spark. He grabs his trident like he's about to strike. He goes from total joy to this furious rage in an instant. Can you imagine being there and seeing that transformation?
It's like that raw, untamed energy that Shiva's known for, right on the surface.
Yeah, exactly. But then something really interesting happens. Parvati, Shiva's consort, she steps in. She gently touches Shiva, reminds him to stay calm, to remember his compassion. It's like she's calling him back to his true self.
That's a powerful moment. It reminds us that even the most powerful beings need that balance, that grounding force.
Exactly. And Shiva does regain control. He lowers his weapon and lets Bhrigu walk away unharmed. It shows that Shiva, despite that fiery nature, can actually transcend anger when he needs to.
So after those two really intense encounters, Bhrigu heads to Vaikuntha, the realm of Vishnu.
This has got to be a complete change of pace, right?
Oh, absolutely. Picture this. Vaikuntha's bathed in light. There's this feeling of total peace. Vishnu's reclining on Adishesha, this giant cosmic serpent. And Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and fortune, is there, taking care of his feet. It's an image of pure harmony and love.
So a totally different vibe than Brahmaloka or Mount Kailasha. How does Bhrigu react this time?
Well, he walks right up to Vishnu and kicks him in the chest.
What? Seriously? After what happened with Shiva?
Yeah, it's wild. The text described this huge impact. Lakshmi and everyone else, they're totally stunned. You'd think Vishnu would obliterate him on the spot, right?
Right. That's a serious attack on the preserver of the universe. But here's the thing. Vishnu doesn't get angry. He just gets up calmly with this serene smile. And he asks Bhrigu about his journey like nothing happened. And then he says this incredible thing. He says, "I trust my hard chest has not injured your foot." What do you make of that?
That's incredible. He's more concerned about Bhrigu's foot than his own chest being kicked.
Exactly. And then he does something even more amazing. Vishnu actually kneels down and starts massaging Bhrigu's foot. Can you imagine that?
The god who was just attacked is now tending to his attacker's foot.
That's Vishnu for you. Pure compassion and humility. And Bhrigu, he's speechless. Tears are streaming down his face. He completely breaks down and prostrates himself before Vishnu. It's in that moment that he finally gets it.
Gets what?
He understands true greatness. It's not about power or position. It's about this unwavering patience, this boundless love and forgiveness.
So Bhrigu returns to the sages and he tells them everything. He explains how Brahma was affected by pride, how Shiva succumbed to anger. But Vishnu, he remained undisturbed, responding to disrespect with grace.
And then he declares, Vishnu is the greatest. He's the refuge for those who seek peace, who do no harm, who see unity in all beings. It's a conclusion based on direct experience, not just philosophical debate.
Powerful stuff. So what happens to Vishnu? Does he just shrug off this whole attack?
Well, the story says that from that day forward, Vishnu's chest bears the mark of Bhrigu's foot. It becomes this prominent symbol of his compassion, a reminder that he's willing to bear even the marks of offense for the sake of love.
Wow, a permanent reminder of that encounter.
And the sages, they finally understand. True greatness isn't about force or intellect. It's about this quiet strength, this unwavering forgiveness. It really makes you rethink what we often value, doesn't it?
It really does. You know, how often do we get caught up in pride or anger when someone wrongs us? What if we could even try to be a little bit more like Vishnu in our own lives?
It's a powerful challenge, isn't it?
It is. And it's important to remember that this isn't just some random myth. It's found in important Hindu scriptures like the Vishnu Purana and the Bhagavata Purana. There might be some variations in how it's told, but that core message about Vishnu's humility and compassion, that's always there.
Yeah, it's a consistent theme. And it leaves us with a lot to think about, right? We often think strength is about power and dominance. But this story says true strength is about being composed, compassionate, forgiving, even in the face of adversity.
It's a powerful message, and it makes me wonder, are there other stories, maybe in other traditions, that challenge our ideas of greatness in similar ways? What do you think?
That's a great question to explore, and I think it's a journey worth taking.
I agree. It's definitely something for all of us to ponder. Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time.
See